What's up, guys? As you guys can see from the title of the video, do a quick little vlog here talking about the Rebel 500 and my experiences with it through about seven and a half months of ownership. I'm not sure where I'm gonna cruise to, but just gonna cruise around a little bit, kind of talk about my experience I've had with the bike and how I like it, maybe the pros and cons. So I've got about 1,757 miles on it. So I got the bike at like the end of summer, or towards the end of summer, I guess. So I only got to ride a few months before it was winter. So I kind of missed out on a few months of riding season, so I have probably less miles than what I would normally have right now. But yeah, so 7 months in, the Rebel it's a very good beginner bike, I will say. I don't like the term beginner bike simply because it might not be a beginner bike to some people. Some people might just not want that power. 500 is, not saying it's powerful, but 500cc is enough for a lot of people. So to call it a beginner bike, yeah, I feel like it's taking away from the bike itself. I think it's plenty powerful to, you can commute with it. I mean, I just did a 200 plus mile trip one way, and 200 plus miles back the next day. So it can be done. It gets pretty good gas mileage, so it's a very good commuter bike. I wouldn't say I have too many cons on the bike. Maybe if it had I do wish it had a bigger gas tank, maybe an extra gallon. An extra gallon would be, if you can get an extra 50 to 60 miles out of a tank, I feel like it would be much better. But you get about 150. I haven't really pushed it to its limits because I don't want to run out of gas. So I don't feel like pushing it into a gas station. So maybe one of these days I'll have my wife or somebody follow me and see how many miles I can get out of it. Or maybe just carry a little bit of gas on me to get me to the next gas station. This might be a little loud. But yeah, so pro or cons, I'd say the gas tank is a little bit lacking. It's a little bit too small for my taste. Really, the lack of cruise control, it's not necessarily needed. Like, I'm running this cheap Amazon throttle lock, and it seems to do the trick. It works just fine. And then I would say probably lack of a tachometer. I don't really need it, but I wouldn't be against having it. The stock seat is horrendous. It feels like you're sitting on a piece of cardboard. Other than that, I mean, really, I've enjoyed the bike. I feel like it's been a wonderful bike for me. I mean, I have no plans on getting rid of it simply because I like the bike. I mean, I affordable, so you can get into them at a good price. They get good gas mileage, and they're easy to ride. They're really planted on the highway. They're really planted on streets like this. Like, I can cruise at 85 miles an hour fairly easy. If it's super windy, then the engine will be pretty buzzy, honestly. But like the ride to my camp destination, the engine wasn't super buzzy, but it was also not really windy at all. And then the ride back is when it started getting pretty buzzy. It wasn't like overly buzzy to where your hands are numb or anything like that, but it's buzzy enough to where you're gonna feel it. I mean, you're taking a 500cc bike that has 40 horsepower, 85 miles an hour for potentially hours at a time. But I took the back roads simply because I like the back roads. I would rather be comfortable than ride the interstate the whole way and just be uncomfortable and getting blown around. But yeah, it's pros and cons. It's a great bike. I did finally install my Vikings bags. I've had tons of problems with them. Simply user error. I'm not going to blame it on the bike or the Viking or anything like that. It was user error. The fender bolt holes are very finicky, I should say. They're metric. I didn't have them lined up properly, so they basically just stripped on me. But I mean, it was on me. I mean, I'm taking responsibility for it. It's not like I'm blaming the bike or the bags, because it was user error. I'll take but I finally got them to work. The issue is I could get them on whenever I wasn't using, because I have a luggage rack on there. So I like to do camping trips, so I need to have as much storage as I can on my bike. And so I was just having a real hard time getting the bracket for the luggage bracket and sissy bar rack. I was having trouble getting it to line up because I was doing it myself, so I was having trouble getting it to line up, and I ended up stripping the bolts out, or stripping the screw holes out, I should say. I ended up replacing those brackets and dang near stripped them out again. But I finally got them installed, so I'm gonna kind of monitor them to see how well they hold up, and because I haven't really got to use them yet. I didn't get to, and it will make a huge difference when I do my camping trip, because I can store a lot more stuff in those bags than compared to my little cheap Kimimoto bags I had. So it's gonna make a huge difference. They're like 26 liters each compared to 12 liters each. So two of those Kimimoto bags were less than one of these Viking bags. I like the look of them, but in one way I don't, because I kind of like the minimalist look of the bags. But functionality, they're definitely way more functional than what my Kimimoto bags were, simply because I can store a lot more in them. But 7-month review, I like the bike. I think it's a great starter bike. if somebody's getting I'm not calling it a beginner bike, but if somebody's getting into, if they're getting into riding and they want a bike that they can learn how to ride on and learn how to ride and it's easy for them, I would say the Rebel 500 is a great option. It's got enough power to where like I'm in 6th gear and it's still got it's got enough, even when I'm on the highway, which I'll do a highway test on one of these vlogs, maybe on my days off. But even when I'm on the highway, say I'm going 60 and I'm in 6th gear and I need to pass somebody, it has no problem getting up to 70, 75. Fairly simple, or fairly easy. So it's definitely got the power to excite you. It's not going to blow your socks off because it's a 500, but that's also a good thing. It's not going to make a new rider nervous, because I see a lot of these people get these bikes that are too big for them. They start riding and they're just not ready to ride. Like I went to my MSF course, and this girl that was in the class, she bought an 1800 and she couldn't even ride the 250s. So I was like, you kind of got to know what you're getting into. You can't just expect to jump on the biggest thing and you're just gonna cruise around on it. Personally, I like having the lighter bike because I can whip it around. If I need to avoid something, it's very easy to move. I can basically manhandle it. I'm not scared I'm going to drop it. Will I eventually upgrade to a bigger bike? Probably. Time will tell. But as of now, 7 months in, I'm still enjoying this bike. I still get a smile on my face when I get out and ride it. When I get to ride it, I love it. And before, with the town we lived in, it was only like a 2-minute ride to work, so I didn't really ride to work. Now it's like a 20-minute ride, so I'll be doing a lot of riding to work, a lot of commuting, a lot of miles on the bike. Hopefully by then I have a Mustang seat, because the seat I got is an Amazon one, and it's better than stock, don't get me wrong, but I'm not a fan of it. But yeah, I mean, we're getting closer to my house now, so I'm gonna kind of wrap the video up. I just wanted to do a quick ride and kind of talk about my Rebel 500, because you don't really see long-term, I wouldn't say it's long-term, but you don't really see videos that kind of explain their thoughts on it after a few months, or after 5-6 plus months. They usually just do their first ride videos, and I want people to know what it's like. So the Rebel is, I wouldn't say it's just for short people, because a lot of people say, well, you need to be short to ride it because it's got a 32-inch or 32 seat height, or I could be wrong, don't quote me on that, but it's got a shorter seat height. So that's not the case. I'm 6 foot 230 plus pounds, and I do need to lose weight. I'm working on it. I lost weight. I stopped drinking soda, so I lost weight, and then I started drinking it again and gained all the weight that I lost back. But so I'm 6 foot 230, and I feel like I fit on the bike pretty well, although I don't have very long legs. Like, my legs aren't overly long. I think it's the coldest. No, it ain't. So my legs aren't overly long, so I feel like that helps me. That makes me fit better on it. Now, if I was super long, like 6'2", 6'3", sure, the bike probably would not feel pretty well. But being the height I am, the weight I am, it still feels really well. But yeah, if you have any questions about the Rebel 500, or if you want to know some experiences I have with it or whatever, just let me know. I'm definitely willing to talk about it, because I mean, I've been riding it for a decent amount of time now, so if you have any questions about it, you can comment or shoot me a email or whatever, and I'm always on my phone, so I'll always get back to you. But yeah, I just want to do a quick vlog and talk about my experiences with the Rebel. But thank you guys for watching. If you'd like and comment and subscribe, it would help me out a lot. Thank you guys and have a great day.